Good evening and welcome back to the castle here at CCBC Essex. It's been a long summer, but the summer, at least now to me, is officially over as we are back here ready to kick off the sports season at CCBC Essex. Women's soccer live from the castle on this Tuesday night. Aaron Thomas in the broadcast booth once again, bringing you the action this season. We have two teams that are looking for their first win of the year in the CCBC Essex Knights and the Howard Community College Dragons. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. National anthem and starting lineups right now. All the fans in attendance here got to hear the national anthem. I'll run down the starters for you. Starting with the CCBC Essex Knights, Kayla Willis, Mackenzie Hunt, Kylie Staubitz, Allison Wysong, Samantha Grace, Bailey Arnett, Michaela Phillips, Abby Meadows, Kara Halplin, Rebecca Verdi, and in goal number 45, Reagan Cantner. For the Dragons, it's Sarah Woods, Madison Dusbach, Molly Nichols, Miranda Castillo, Sage Huber, Destiny Detton, Casey Boyan, Jalen Soitello, Sophia Poulon, Natalie Sandoval, and in goal for the Dragons, number 38, Olivia Jackson. So two teams searching for their first win of the year. The Knights 0-2 on the year coming into the home opener, 0-4 the Dragons. And some familiarity on the field as the Dragons' first two losses on the year came to the same two teams that the Knights lost to in their first game. It was a 2-1 loss to number 5 Holmes Community College, and it was a 5-0 loss to number 6 Jones College to start out the season. Both those games took place in Knoxville, Tennessee during an opening season round-robin tournament. 11 shots on goal, 11 shots total in 2 games. 9 of those 11 shots on goal. Certainly not the start that Coach King wanted for the year, but some of his quotes coming into today kind of sum up perfectly, I'm sure, where he is at mentally, at least. I want to focus on us building chemistry, and my favorite, no team has ever won the national championship in August. True. Very true. But you can lose it. Although we're out of August, so you can't lose it in August, but you can lose it in September. Slow start. Got to turn it around. No better time than right now. But speaking of slow starts, you look on the other side, Dragons, something got to give with them as well. 0-4 on the year. It was a 9-0 loss to Jones, a 14-0 loss to Holmes, and then an 8-0 loss to Monroe Community College, and then they're coming off a 3-1 loss to Genesee. So the Dragons outscored 34-1 in their first 4 games of the season. 10 shots in 4 games, 2 of those shots on goal. So two teams that would like to put the rough start behind them, and here's a chance. Right here, right now, first 45. And it'll be starting here any moment now as the two teams talk some last-minute strategy. It is certainly not the prettiest of days outside. The lights are on here at the castle. Dark skies. Was just some light showers just a moment ago, but it looks like that's cleared up. Two teams coming back out onto the field, and we are just moments away from starting the season officially here at the castle of CCBC Essex. Our good friends at Chick-fil-A Nottingham Square catering the event on this Tuesday night. Another reason why you got to come out to a game here at CCBC Essex. Great action on the field. Chick-fil-A Nottingham Square in the stands. Check out the CCBC Essex website for games moving forward. Though it's a full week of games this week, as we've got one game here on Tuesday. We have two games on Thursday as we get our first chance to see the men's team. It's a men's and women's doubleheader on Thursday, and then the women's team is in action again on Sunday. Kickoff for Thursday's games will be 4 o'clock. Sunday is an early 10 a.m. kickoff, so you can get that Sunday game in with us and then check out the Ravens at 1 o'clock, as I believe the NFL starts this week. That's then. This is now. Knights already one shot. We're a minute in. Good throw in over everybody's head. It's a race. A ball played in towards the middle. And that'll be the second shot, maybe. What it definitely is missed opportunity for the Knights. See if they can keep it in this offensive zone as it's 50-50 at the midfield. Controlled initially by the white jerseys, but the Dragons got it right now. Trying to find some space. Knights finding the space. One more pass. That pass didn't come there, but possession stays with the Knights. It's another offensive opportunity deep in their zone. Taking a few steps back. A couple big steps forward as that's a good shot put on goal, but a better save by Olivia Jackson. Fingertips on the ball. That's all that was needed to push it away. Knights still knocking on opportunity's door, though. Knocks getting louder and louder as that third time into the offensive zone. Put a really quality shot on goal. Dragons still looking for their first opportunity. Flash some offense. And there's some physical play. Right in front of us. First whistle. That was an 8-on-8 crime. Samantha Grace, number 8 for the Knights. Going right at it with number 8, Sage Huber of the Dragons. Ask and you shall receive. Dragons getting their first opportunity to show some offense. It's a quick flex. Can they get right back on the horse? It's bouncing around at the midfield. No communication there from the Dragons. Huber had no idea. Knights were making a run at the ball there. Kayla Willis. Good defensive play to win a possession for the Knights. Just unable to do anything with it that time. But we are about 5 minutes into the first half, and we have spent most of this 5 minutes in the offensive zone of the Knights. 3 shots on goal to their name. Dragons trying to quickly play that ball up. Catch the Knights napping. Knights are wide awake right now. Little energy, little pep in the step as the goal looked big there for a moment. Bailey Arnett, freshman front. Dragons made the play at maybe the absolute last second. Another half a step. Arnett probably gets a shot off. And then who knows? First corner kick of the game. Let's see if it's quality. It comes from this near sideline. Hands up. Ball follows. And that'll leave a mark. That's why you mark up on the post there, as that was headed in towards a good goal-scoring area. But because the Dragons had a player on the front post, they were the ones to get to the ball first. Not out of the danger zone just yet, though, as that is another quality throw. And that is another quality defensive stand at maybe the last possible second. Knights are moving into a position where they're going to get a cross off. Get that ball bouncing around in towards the middle. Anything's possible. Takes one wrong bounce and we got the game's first goal. Sophia Poulon for the Dragons. Good body possession. Made the play defensively. We'll have to make another one, though, as the Knights once again knocking on the door. So quality passing to switch the fields. Little yin and yang, though. We got some quality passing to switch the fields, but then that last pass, push it up. Little bit too much mustard on that dog. Dragons working hard for this possession. They got it out of their defensive zone, and they're keeping it out now with a good play at the midfield there. Looked like the Knights were going to switch over, going a quick transition. Instead, the Dragons getting their best offensive opportunity of the game so far. But it's more of the same for them. Saw the Knights put a little bit too much mustard on it on the other side. Dragons. Hey, that looked fun. Let's try that. Something building there. The Dragons capitalize on it. It's a quality strike on the goal kick. And a late whistle. That ball did indeed go out of bounds. What could have been, as again, Arnett had that ball on the foot for the Knights. A lot of space in front. A lot of green turf. Dragons stepping up at the last possible second. Making the plays defensively to keep this game scoreless. Almost 10 minutes into the first half. The Knights have 3 shots on goal, 1 corner kick. Dragons, no shots yet for them. The only numbers on the board that matter, though, are 0-0. These two teams searching for the game's first goal. The Dragons searching for their first goal of the season. Knights, though, not far behind them with only one goal on the year for them. So not only are these two teams looking to get the first win of the year for their teams or their schools, they're also looking to get the offense rolling, get it started, really. Got to get the offense started before you can get it rolling. We're still very much in the feeling out process of this game, though. Knights in control in terms of time of possession, but it's not really good for that much. If you can't put quality shots on goal. Now they put one quality shot on goal. That seems like a good 5-10 minutes ago at this point, as the Dragons defense has stepped up, made some plays over the last 3-4 minutes, maybe stolen a little bit of the momentum that the Knights had. Stealing a little bit more momentum now, one more pass, and that pass won't come, as that was a nice defensive play. Knights, I believe Kara Halplin was the one who stepped up and made that tackle. Dragons had a 3-on-2 building, or a 2-on-3, I should say, as the Knights did have the advantage in terms of numbers. You push that ball into the offensive zone, though. Push it in far enough. Only need one good bounce. Knights seeing that right here, and that good bounce will not go their way. Instead, Olivia Jackson, once again, quick to come off the line. Make the save for the squad. So many times you play goalie. Doesn't matter what level it is kill or be killed. Jackson making the necessary plays. Keep this game scoreless. Fight for the ball at the midfield. And it'll go Dragons as it rolls over the end line. Jackson quick to come off the line again. This time has to put the boots to it. It was a race towards that ball. Knights will regroup. Another throw, far sideline. They're deep in their offensive zone once again. 2 minutes and some change away from the 30-minute mark of the first half, which means these two teams have almost played a full 15. Dragons starting to find some footing here offensively. Can they build on it? There's another quality throw from the Knights. Gets it deep into the zone, and Jackson saves that one. A little toe tap on the sideline. She lets the momentum carry her out, and it becomes a corner kick instead of a change of possession. Dragons' woes switching fields continue as they turn it over after the punt. And now, some confusion. Dragons came to a stop. The ref came in, blew the whistle, pointed the other way. Knights free kick 10 yards into their defensive zone, and it's quality, but a little too strong. A couple times we've seen the Knights have right idea, wrong execution type play, as there was space there and a player running towards that ball, but a little bit too much power on the pass. And Willis, like a missile, sees the space and what's developing. No hesitation at all. Listed as a forward, but playing more of a defensive midfield spot, maybe even on the back line. Willis 3-4 times already here in this first half seen good decision making. Less making a run from the back, but just seeing an opportunity to attack the ball and keep the ball in the offensive part of the field for the Knights. She's doing just that. A couple plays made at the midfield. Knights will need another one here as the Dragons are building something on the near sideline. And it takes a wrong bounce for the Dragons, as Willis and Halplin slowed it down for a moment. Dragons still had a chance and maybe still do, as it's bouncing around, and we'll do it all over again. Another throw in. Again, Dragons, first one there. Keeping this ball in their offensive zone. The cross, and it's sent away. Quality offense developing there for the Dragons. Anybody's ball. Oh, my. Takes a good bounce for the Knights. One move, one pass, and offsides. My. Oh, my. What could have been? Saw some quality offense developing for the Dragons, and then a quick change of fields. And then quality offense developing for the Knights. Still scoreless on the board, though, as we approach 20 minutes played in the first half. Right there. Last line of defense for the Dragons. And, oh, there's one the Knights would like to have back. That clear attempt went right over to Blizzard, Caleb Blizzard. Just couldn't get a foot on it. It'll stay in this area. Dragons with another throw. Trying to get it away from that near sideline, and they do, but oh! Here's a quick transition from the Knights. One more pass. Shot, and right to Jackson. That took a little bit longer to develop than I thought initially when you had that quick transition. Good recovery defensively from the Dragons. It turned it over in their defensive zone, but were quick to regroup, close the door on the Knights. And this game stays scoreless for a little bit longer. How much longer? I got a feeling, excuse me, we're going to see one of these teams break through before halftime. Could be the Dragons right here. And that's a great defensive job, putting the pressure on, turnover, and whoo! This game is starting to heat up. And the goalie for the Knights, Regan Cantner, had the ball played back to her by one of her defensemen, so she couldn't pick it up. That's why that was a good idea by the Dragons. Apply that ball pressure. Make them work to get the ball out of the defensive zone. We saw the Dragons with a turnover in their defensive zone that almost was costly. The Knights do the same thing in their defensive zone. That should have been a handball. That ball wasn't fully over the line, but Dragons taking advantage of this momentum as we have now officially hit the 25-minute mark of this first half. I think we're past the feeling out process, our part of the game, I should say. And now it's 1 strike, 2 strike. Knights making a run, Dragons making a run. This is going to be a game of runs, a game of compromise. Like I said, I got a feeling one of these two teams is going to break through with a goal before we get to halftime. And then it turns into how does the other team adjust to now playing from behind. The team adjust who's now playing from behind, but there's another adjustment in that as well, as how does the team that now has the lead adjust to playing with the lead? Do they take the foot off the pedal? Or do they continue to roll with this newfound momentum? Right now, the momentum is swinging back and forth. Physicality starting to pick up as well as we head into the later stages of this first half. How does that play a factor in the game? You know it's going to. Could play a factor in terms of penalties, but it also could play a factor in terms of try and make a play defensively, outstretch yourself, leave yourself vulnerable to a counterattack. We saw the Knights almost with a lethal counterattack about 4 or 5 minutes ago when the Dragons turned it over in their defensive zone. Right now, the Knights, maybe smartly, slowing it down. It ultimately ends up being another right idea, wrong execution play there for the Knights, as there was space on that far sideline. But the through ball found its way all the way through. And that's going to be a corner kick. Thought for a second the way Regan played it that maybe a Dragons player got a foot on it, and that's why she let it cross the line, but maybe just a mental lapse. No matter, though, opportunity to step up and make the play defensively, as now it's the first corner kick of the game for the Dragons. Comes with 22 minutes left in the first half. Hands up, ball follows, and that is not quality. Love to have that one over again. No mullies in this game, though. You get unlimited mulligans when you're playing golf with my dad, if you're him. But no mulligans here tonight for the teams on the field. It's 21 minutes and some change left in the first half, and the action is picking up as evening has turned to night, and we are playing under the lights here at the Castle. Home opener. Two teams looking for their first win. Here come the Dragons. One pass, one more maybe, and what a defensive stop They'll need to make another, though. Momentum building for the Dragons and space there deep in their offensive zone, but the Knights make the play at the last possible second, and that will be a handball, accidental, as it just happened to take a funny bounce. Come up and hit the arm of Dragons player number 7, Miranda Castillo. And that is a tough break there for the Dragons, as they had a lot of momentum on their side and the ball deep in their offensive zone. Tale of two halves here in the first half. The Knights really dominating the first portion of the first half. Dragons kind of dominating here this middle portion. We still got the back half of the first half, and oh, by the way, the second half, of course, as well. So still so much time to be played here in this game. What will the final story be of this game? Only time will tell. You have to stick around with us and find out, but it is starting to look like the home opener here for the Knights is going to be a doozy. At least it's starting that way. Under 20 minutes to play in the first half, and we are still scoreless, 0-0, but not for lack of trying. These two teams each have a corner kick to their name. The Knights, 4 shots on goal. No shots on goal for the Dragons, but if you've been with us for the last few minutes, you know that they've come mighty close to breaking through with the game's first goal. A lot of space here for the Knights. The through ball finds its way through, but the offsides flag was up. But Jackson did not want to leave anything to chance, as once again, freshman goalie out of Ellicott City, Maryland, number 38, Olivia Jackson, quick with the decision to come off the line. It's the hesitation in a play, in a moment like that, that'll really kill you. So that quick decision goes a long way, and there's a frustrating play for the Dragons as they turn it over at the midfield line. They'll do it all over again. Oh, good win on the 50-50 ball. One more pass, and it's a little bit too far out in front. Good aggressive win there by Allison Wysong. Or excuse me, that was Samantha Grace. Number 8, Samantha Grace, with a good aggressive move. Not only was she the first one to that 50-50 ball, but she played it in a way that she could control it afterwards. And her pass to Blizzard just a little bit too far out in front. Another one of those right idea, wrong execution plays. Those type of plays are starting to pile up here for the Knights, and it's a big reason why we still stand at 0-0. The Knights have certainly had more opportunities. Doesn't matter much, though, if you can't capitalize on them. Still a lot of time left on that clock. Approaching the 15-minute mark of the first half, and then, of course, we got the whole second half in front of us. And my, oh my, what a great defensive play on the near sideline. Something developing there for the Dragons until Michaela Phillips, freshman defender, wearing number 11, put the clamps on. Said none shall pass. Good one-on-one play defensively, as both of these teams' defensive units have shined here in this first half. As we see another quality tackle making that pass a lot more difficult. Dragons able to regroup initially. Knights not giving any space, though. But if you stay aggressive offensively, good things tend to happen, and the Dragons have earned themselves the game's third corner kick. Their last corner came from the far sideline, and it was not quality. Went right into the side of the net. This one coming from the near sideline, and let's see if this is a better spot for him. Third time, maybe the charm here. Could we potentially be seeing the game's first goal? Hands up, ball will follow. The Knights don't have somebody on that back post. They're changing that now. This is a better quality hit strike, but it takes a Knights bounce. And now here comes the transition attempt. And what an idea to slow down. Or at least initially looked like it was a great idea to slow down. The Knights got some space and players in position. At their pass, well, we won't talk about that. Under 15 minutes to play now in the first half. Through ball never found its way through that time. And it's another quick change of possession. Dragons looking for space. And finding the foot of Willis. Another good, strong defensive play by number 1. Sophomore Kayla Willis. There once again. 2 back-to-back tackles for Willis. Putting on a clinic defensively. Willis, one of a handful of returners from last year's team. So much turnover every year at this level. It's the nature of the beast. Community college, 2 years, brand new team. So every year there's a lot of turnover, but it's nice, and I'm sure Coach King appreciates having players like Willis holding over from last year's squad. Seven total sophomores on this year's team. Little hot potato. Going back and forth with the one touches. Great hustle to save that ball. And man, what could have been, as the Dragons had a player cutting in towards the middle. But also, that's a difficult play when you have a Knights defender cutting off your angle. Dragons, I'm sure, thinking, though, right now, if you could have played that ball with a little bit more possession, or patience, I should say, that was a good quality opportunity developing for the Howard Community College Dragons. We have spent a lot of this last 10-15 minutes in the defensive zone for the Knights, and the tale of 2 first halves continue. The Knights really dominated most of the first half, or at least most of the start of the first half, I should say, in terms of time of possession, but that trend has certainly switched here as we are now in the later stages of the first half. The Dragons continuing to knock on opportunity's door. Knox getting a little louder now. One more move needed, and then a pass, and neither will come as it's another great defensive stop by the Knights. Quick transition. Got a couple of players out on the field that want a whistle, and they will get it. So the Knights miss out on that opportunity for the quick transition, but they do not miss out on the opportunity to get the game's first goal as possession stays with them. Free kick. about 7 yards into their defensive zone. Let's see what the strategy is. So they look for the big boot and hope it takes a good bounce. It's exactly what they do, and it's taking a good bounce, but right into the arms of Jackson. Another killer be killed play. If Jackson hesitates just for a moment there, the Knights probably get a shot on goal. Great quality strike from the defensive zone. One bounce. Man, what could have been? The action continuing to get more and more exciting as we get closer and closer to halftime. And what a home opener it is for the Knights. Ooh. I saw that. Did you see that at home? It's getting physical out there on the field, and I love it. The action. Exciting on the field. The trash talk, I'm sure, just as exciting. Two teams looking for their first win of the year. The 0-4 Dragons against the 0-2 Knights. You know, we talked about earlier, before the game started, Coach King talking about, oh my, put that on the burner for a second, as here's the offense for the Knights. One shot, one goal, and the Knights are the team that breaks through with the game's first goal. A quick strike transition, blink and you missed it. The Knights' first home goal of the year is their second goal on the season, and it is the first goal of the game tonight. 1-0 with 9 minutes and 14 seconds left in this first half. How do the Dragons rebound? As it seemed like they were in control of the momentum, well, until they weren't. It's all Knights now as the game has seen its first goal. Is it about to see its second? As something was developing there for a moment on the far sideline for the Dragons. It was in the middle of saying before the Knights broke through with the game's first goal, Coach King quoted before the game saying that no team has lost the national championship in August. That's a great quote, and it's a great way to put the season or the start to the season in perspective. But the fact that he said national championship says it all in terms of that is what the goal is for this Knights team, coming off a very quality season last year. This is a team that feels like they can compete for a national championship at this level. And if they're going to do that, they got to put the 0-2 start behind them. And they're off to a good start here in the home opener, as it's been a physical 30 minutes, or almost 30 minutes, as we are about 2 minutes and change away from hitting the 5-minute mark of the first half. And it has been a back-and-forth physical 30 minutes. The Knights, just a minute ago, broke through with the game's first goal. Can the Dragons get this game back to even in the final 7 minutes of the first half? It seems like they've upped their aggressive play as the Knights turn it over in their defensive zone. Willis gets it right back. Oh, but Castillo takes it. One more pass, looking for the space. None there. Oh, they find it. Oh, and there was no offsides flag. What could have been? Castillo was dancing around with it for a moment, found the angle for the pass. But apparently the Dragons not up on their telepathy. Oh, the through ball. It finds its way through. One more pass. And it's cleared out. The one-touch shot was wide. It was headed towards the Dragons defender. Didn't want to take any chances and sent it away. Better to be safe than sorry. 6 minutes left to play here in the first half. The Dragons looking to get back to even. And I'm sure looking to get that bitter taste out of their mouth of that moment that they had just a minute ago on that through ball from Castillo. I don't know how that ball found its way through because there was 3 white jerseys in front of Castillo there. But somehow she put a good strike on. What could have been, what might be as it's headed towards Castillo again. Space on the near sideline. Oh, that's a quality strike, and right into the hands of Cantor. Whoa, Nelly, what a good shot. But right into the mitts of the goalie for the Knights. The Dragons' offense is certainly awake now, though. And after a play like that, really after the last 2 plays we've seen from the Dragons offense, you got to think that maybe they are just a moment away from getting this game back to even. I think the Knights need to answer with a good quality strike right here, right now. The longer this game stays at 1-0, I think the longer it plays into the Dragons' hands. If the Knights can get out to a 2-0 lead, I think we may see the song of this game start to change a little bit. As that is a quality tackle right at the midfield from the Dragons, looking to go defense to offense. Oh, tough turnover in the defensive zone. Can the Knights make them pay? Another good through ball, but just a little bit too much on that one. Jackson again, quick to come off the line. Because that one was still headed towards a Knights player. What could have been might be right here, right now, is that one is offsides, but just by a hair. It doesn't get much closer than that. Steady your beating heart, Dragons fans. Steady your beating heart. It will remain 1-0 for a little bit longer. How much longer? These two teams 3 minutes away from the halftime whistle, and we've got two teams looking forward to that halftime whistle for 2 very different reasons. Dragons may be down, but they've got to feel like they're in charge in terms of momentum. So they feel like they're just one moment, one play away. The Knights, well, they're out in front. They may not have the momentum, but they've got the lead, and last I checked, that's what mattered. You play to win the game. That was Herm Edwards, I think, right? NFL Sunday right around the corner. But Soccer Tuesday here at the Castle, just as exciting. It's a 1-0 game, 2 minutes and some change left in the first half. Chick-fil-A Nottingham Square in the stands. Great action on the field. And what a tackle! Oh my goodness! An early entry for defensive play of the game. What a slide tackle. That had goal-scoring opportunity written all over it for the Knights. The defense for the Dragons said nay, nay. Under 2 minutes to play now in the first half. The Dragons still holding on to the lead in terms of momentum. Looking to get back to even. Knights defense stretched out for a moment. Through ball. Finds its way all the way through, but a little bit too much mustard on that dog. The Dragons certainly did have the Knights stretched out defensively there, as the space on the field has usually not been on this part of the field for the Dragons. Willis has been a trap defensively. That time, just a little bit of space there, but it was all they needed. Find the opportunity. Castillo, some great moves around two players. One pass, the cross, and it's sent away, but Castillo's the first one to it again. And the Knights defense steps up and makes the play at the last second. Quick transition, one more pass. And she's offsides. Oh, my. And that was a buzzer-beating defensive save by the referee on the far sideline for the Dragons. And that's why defensively, as a coaching staff, you'll work with the team, make sure that as a unit, as a line, you move together in sync so you can use that offsides call as essentially a fifth defender, and it worked out perfectly for him right there. A buzzer-beating defensive play that keeps this game at 1-0 as we go into halftime. What will be the score at the end of the second half? Stick around with me and find out, as we have got an exciting home opener from the Castle. And we are back here ready to start the second 45. The Knights will start this second half with a 1-0 lead. How long will that 1-0 lead last? And can they switch that 1-0 lead up? Can they get it to 2? Knights women's soccer team trying to make it a clean sweep here as the men 14-1 winners in Cecil earlier tonight. Mackenzie Hunt had the goal for the Knights in the first half. Mackenzie Hunt was on the team. He talked about how nice it is for Coach King to have that big group of sophomores helping out this season. And there is a shot on goal and a quality save. It bounced around a few times in there. The box, that is. And the light drizzle played no effect. Jackson got the mitts on it and kept him on it. Keeps this game at 1-0. And what would this game look like if it wasn't for Jackson in between the pipes for the Dragons? And the third or fourth quality play of the day for Jackson. And then another 3-4 heads-up plays to go along with those quality plays. She came out, made a quick snap decision coming off the line with no hesitation. We ended the second half with the Knights in front, much as we start the second half. But one thing that has changed from the end of the first half to the start of the second, knocking on opportunity's door, and oh my! An early candidate for Shackton a fool. My goodness, a huge opportunity as it was a 3-on-1 break for the Dragons. A great through ball towards the middle, and the strike, well, we'll work on that later. What could have been, what might be. Wow, what a game. What a moment. And back to the original thought, the Dragons were in control of the momentum to close out the second half. The Knights look like they're in control of the momentum right now, but hey, we just saw that quick strike transition from the Dragons almost lead to goal number 1. A quick rehash of a point that I made to close out the first half. I said that the longer that this game went on 1-0, I felt like that helped the Dragons. But after a play like that, you got to think maybe the opposite is true. The longer this game stays at 1-0 with the Dragons playing the way they are, you got to think maybe they start to think, what do we need to do to finally break through? A little bit too much ankle on that tackle attempt. Thought maybe for a second the ref would play advantage because the Dragons still had possession. Longer this game starts or goes at 1-0, I think the Dragons start to think to themselves, start to wonder, start to ponder, what do we have to do to finally break through? Because we've put quality strikes on. We've put together good runs. We just haven't been able to break through. More of the same will do it right now. All you need is one right now. But that's right now. Day, the situation. Here's a run, far sideline. Dragons with possession. Nene says the Knights defense, and now here's a run for them. Space, offsides by just a hair, and that is maybe the third or fourth time that offsides call has come to save the day for the Dragons. And that's quality defense. You know, I can stand up here in the broadcast booth and say the offsides call saved the day, but if you're moving as a offsides call as an extra defender, and like I said, third, maybe fourth time we've seen the Dragons do exactly that. We may need to see them do it again here. Knights, opportunity. It's a race towards the ball. The Knights win it, and oh my, they play it a little bit too far out in front. Bailey Arnett, freshman forward. Speaking of 3-4 times, that's got to be at least the third or fourth time we've seen Arnett come just moments away from putting on a quality goal. Putting on maybe at least a quality strike on goal. Let's not put the cart before the horse. Arnett really hasn't had a chance to put the strike on. Maybe an opportunity here. It's another race towards the ball. Arnett's the first one there. And it's another quality defensive play from the Dragons, as Arnett may have been the first one there, but Sophia Poulon was not far behind as number 22 for the Dragons, wearing the captain band. Stepped up and made the play, and it must have bounced off two legs, because I think everybody in attendance was expecting a corner, but it looks like a goal kick. The substitution checking into the game for the Dragons, as we are approaching the 35-minute mark of the second half, which means that we have almost played a full 10 minutes here in the second half. And the action picking up right where we left off in the first half. Exciting, physical, and back and forth. What a home opener it is. And what a start to this action-packed weekend of soccer, or this action-packed week, I should say, of soccer at the Castle. The home opener for the women here on Tuesday, home opener for the men on Thursday, our first doubleheader of the season on Thursday as well. And then, of course, we're starting football Sunday off with a little European football, 10 a.m. live from the Castle. Women's soccer kicking off NFL Sunday. Ball bouncing around to the offensive zone of the Knights. They'll take a throw in, far sideline. As another change here in the second half is the weather. We have a light drizzle out on the field. It's going to play a factor at some point here in this game in terms of the ball maybe skipping a little extra on the field, on the turf. It also could play a factor when it comes to slide tackles. You slide a little bit more on that wet turf. You slide another at least 2-3 yards. You get a good momentum, good run. The wet surface, bound to play some kind of hand here in this game. Speaking of hands, the Dragons got hands on the ball right now. Throw in, 35 minutes and some change left in this second half. It is still 1-0, but not for lack of trying. We have seen both of these teams put quality opportunities together offensively in this first 10 minutes of the second half. We saw Jackson make a tremendous save in maybe the first 2 minutes of the half? And then that great opportunity for the Dragons that led to a shot that will keep you up at night. That 3-on-1 opportunity. No shot on goal for the Dragons. They only have one shot on goal to their name here in this game. Jackson, quick to come off the line, a collision. I think that's going to stop the play because of an injury, because I can't imagine Jackson picks up a foul there. She's got as much of a right to that ball as the Knights player does. So the stoppage comes probably on an offsides. Of course, no official word over to the scorer's table. It's in soccer. This isn't like the NFL where the ref turns on the microphone, or in lacrosse he signals over to the scorer's table. It's you either see the flag or now some words exchanged. Exciting game here at the Castle. Emotions are high. Two teams look. No better time than right now. Of defeat out of the mouth. Oh, there's. Got around one defender with the quality play. Played it a little bit too far out in front. Gave the defense for the Dragons more than enough time to regroup, send it away. And the Dragons had a bad clear attempt there as they sent that over the wrong line. It doesn't matter much as Zebra Stripes comes in, blows the whistle, and points the finger in the direction of the Dragons as they didn't like how hard the Knights player came in afterwards. And the physicality is only picking up here as we head in towards the middle stages. Excuse me. The good friends of Chick-fil-A Nottingham Square catering the event here. I had to get me a chicken sandwich in between the halves. Maybe I should have waited till after the game. But Chick-fil-A Nottingham Square, just too good. To the Castle here. I want to encourage all of you at home to come to a game this season. It's soccer in the fall, basketball in the winter, and lacrosse and baseball in the spring. The action never stops during the school year here at CCBC Essex. That's why pictures, articles, updates on the team. Here's an opportunity, something building maybe. Far sideline, now working in towards the middle and looking for that one more pass that got past the defensive line of the Dragons. Dragons sniffed it out, made the play. Seems like it's been a few minutes since we've seen the Dragons offense put together a good run here. The Knights have stolen the momentum as we inch closer to the 30-minute mark of the second half. Still back and forth 15 minutes in this second half, but the Knights looking to maybe separate themselves a little bit. They haven't separated themselves just yet in the category that matters most. As it's still 1-0 on that big board. The Dragons still 1 run away from get back to even. But what I talked about earlier in this second half, starting to look like it's ringing true a little bit. The more that this game continues to stay 1-0, the more it looks like it's playing into the Knights' hand. I thought the opposite was going to be true in the later stages of the first half, the way the Dragons had a hold of the momentum. But now the Dragons looking like they're running in to a buzzsaw, and that buzzsaw is the Knights' defense. Still a lot of time left to be played, though. Adjustments can still be made for the Dragons. Got to do it now. Knights looking to regroup offensively. Looking for space. Good dribbling there. And a tremendous two-man game between Arnett and Grace. It continues. Arnett looking to recover. 50-50 ball in towards the middle. Who's got it? Who wants it? It's still bouncing around. Oh. Play defensively on that far sideline. Looked like the Dragons may have gotten possession. Willis, like the missile she's been all game long. Quick to shut down the space. This is going to be a free kick almost 15 yards into the offensive zone for the Knights. We saw a free kick from their defensive zone almost lead to a goal in the first. What kind of bounce does it take? And they'd love to have that one all over to do over again. They got the big strike, they got the bounce, but they wanted that in more towards the middle of the field, maybe a little bit more loft on that kick too. On a play like that, you also give the goalie a chance to run under it, get the mitts on it. What could have been, what might be, is it's possession once again for the Knights. Now under 30 minutes to play in the contest. The Knights in front not only on the big board, 1-0, but also way out in front in terms of momentum. Dragons seem to be struggling here over the last few minutes, looking for the right combination to steal some of that momentum back. As the rain is starting to pick up a little bit, and so is the wind, as the rain coming in at a little bit of an angle. It's bouncing around on that far sideline. The Dragons made 2 substitutions a moment ago. Knights will make 2 of their own here. Said it just a moment ago, the only numbers on that big board that really matter are 1-0, and that's the score in the game. But some other numbers to just take a look at, throw into your mind. 7-1, that's the numbers in terms of shots on goal here in this game, as we see a quality tackle there coming in from the side on the slide. 7-1. Again, those are the numbers in terms of shots on goal. 7 shots on goal for the Knights, only 1 shot on goal for the Dragons. And it is tough to win ball games when you are playing with a score like that. Now, once again, Dragons just 1 run away from getting this game back to even. So they're down, but certainly not out. We are approaching 25 minutes to play in this second half. Almost a full 20 minutes played in this second half. And we are still right where we were when we started. 1-0 in favor of the Knights. There's a good quality strike. And my, was that a lot closer than I think anyone was expecting. But still, the wrong side of the net. As Cantor played it well. Dragons. Another one of those what could have been moments. Willis plays the through ball, but it finds its way through onto the head of a Dragons defender. That through ball finds a Knights player. One move to get around a defender, one shot. And right into the mitts of Jackson, and that was a good play for Jackson to scoop it up. As you saw, it hit her hands, bounced around a little bit. Quick to regroup and make sure that Dragons, they've got a throw in their offensive zone. About 20 yards into their offensive zone, and you can't do that. You got to go over the head with the throw. Seen a few mental laps out there on the field. That one may be taking the cake, though. Still in the early part of the season. Two teams searching for their first win, but also I think two teams, is safe to say, putting together their best game of the season so far. The Knights did have a 2-1 loss, though, in their first game. I don't know how quality of a game that was, as that took place in their hand. Their 4 losses coming into this game. Games that they would certainly like to forget about. And there was a play that Harry maybe went for the through ball instead, and it never found its way through. Under 25 minutes to play. As gray skies have turned pitch black, and we are playing under the lights here at the Castle. Home opener, season opener. First action we get to see on the new school year. Knights looking to make it a clean sweep. The men 14-1 winners in Cecil today. Ladies playing in a much closer game, but still out in front. Arnett looks to play it through the middle. Offsides. Dangerous play to try and clear it through the middle there for the Knights, and it almost came back to hurt them. As the Dragons got that ball and sent one through, but the quick switch and transition, or excuse me, the quick switch and possession, I think led to that offsides. And oh my, here a little bit behind its target. And that gave the Dragons enough time to regroup defensively. That is the play the Knights will be thinking about if this game doesn't end up going their way. That was a great opportunity. My, oh my. Sometimes it is better to be lucky than good. And I think both sides were lucky there. Grace, after having a pass just a moment ago, be just behind her. She got a lucky bounce and ended up getting a one-on-one breakaway towards the goal. Jackson Well, her luck came in the form of that shot being right at her. Knights looking for a little bit more luck, and the Dragons trying to create a little bit of luck and maybe pushing a little bit too hard as the sideline judge waves the flag and says that was a little bit too physical. And this is a gift here for the Knights. Free kick deep in their offensive zone. About 30 yards into their offensive zone, near sideline. Two-person wall set up here for the Dragons. Good quality strike, and it's over everybody's head. Man, Jackson probably swallowed her stomach there for a moment as that ball was headed over her head. Sure, she thought it was headed for goal scoring for a moment, but then she realized, oh, nope, I'm in perfect position. 1-0. It will remain a little bit longer. How much longer? Not much here. Grace around, and the defense makes the save this time. Oh, my. Play there from the Dragons. Jackson came off the line, made it difficult. Grace had to kind of just regroup for a moment, get around the goalie, and then that was all the time the defense needed to regroup themselves. Here's another corner. Maybe the best one we've seen so far, and that is a strike. Into the wrong net, though. Under 20 minutes to play now. Dragons need to figure out a way to create some offense. They've seen the Knights put 2 quality shots on goal here in the last couple minutes. Ball played in towards the middle. It's a race. Dragons win it. And Jackson has enough time to pick up that ball. Dragons won that race, but came out worse for wear as it was a collision at the ball between one black jersey and one white jersey. Oh, there's Willis. Last line of defense there as that through ball had goal-scoring opportunity written all over it, but Willis used the head. Heads-up play by the sophomore, number 1. Hot potato. Grace wants it, has it, space, pass, and shot. It's wide of the net, and the rebound will not come as it's more physical play from the Knights. Little too physical, says the ref. And that has got to be the jolt that the Dragons needed. They saw goal number 2 for the Knights flash right in front of their eyes as that was a great goal-scoring opportunity for the team in the white jerseys. And if that isn't the spark that the Dragons needed to fire them back up, get them back out in front in terms of momentum, get them fighting again offensively, it has been a long stretch for the Dragons without any good quality offensive opportunities. The later stages of the first half seem like a lifetime ago at this point. Remember, at that part of the game, the Dragons were really in charge in terms of momentum. They spent most of that first half in their offensive zone. And the second half just has not been the same offensively for them. They have spent most of this second half on their heels. They've had some chances, and the chances they have had have been quality. They just haven't been able to do anything with it. And speaking of quality, Knights had a quality opportunity there that kind of just appeared out of nowhere. That ball was bouncing around on that far sideline, and then you blink, you missed it. Knights had an opportunity of goal scoring. 15 minutes and some change. That is all that separates these two teams from the clock hitting triple zeros. If it hits triple zeros the way it is right now, the Knights will pick up their first win of the year. If the Dragons can break through with a goal here in the last 15 minutes, we may be seeing some free soccer. Oh, there's a through ball. And the Dragons defense, they won the race to that ball, but not by much. Knights still knocking on opportunity's door, getting louder and louder, looking for the dagger. Sounds silly to say that a second goal may be a dagger. I mean, you can make up a 2-goal deficit, but the way this game is going, you got to feel like if the Knights can break through with a second goal, it may just be the nail in the coffin for the comeback hope still very much alive right now. Getting stronger with defensive plays like that. Got to be better on the clear attempt, though, as the light drizzle has stopped here at the Castle. Offsides by just a hair. Whoa, man. Speaking of spark plugs, the Knights almost found a spark plug on that far sideline. Now under 15 minutes to play. Good control play there from Blizzard. One more pass. Oh, 5-hole shot. Oh my goodness. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. An early candidate for goal of the year. The nutmeg. And then the beautiful squeak past the first post. What a play. What a game. And that may be the dagger. 2-0 Knights. 13:44 left in regulation. What a game. Wow. If you don't like that, you don't like soccer, because that was picture perfect. More of the same, maybe. Nay, nay. Dragons defense says we're down, but not out. Anything is possible. Just gotta be perfect. Oh, what a tackle! Doesn't lead to possession, but that one is one you'll write home to mom and dad about. A quality tackle in the defensive zone for the Knights. And the team in the white jerseys do eventually get possession. So Michaela Phillips gets the assist. Allison Wysong the goal. And that may have been one of those moments where the pass was prettier than the shot. because Phillips found that open space in between the legs of the defender. But then again, Wysong, not a lot of space where she squeaked that ball through that first post. Man, that one is going to be tough to top. But luckily, there's a lot of soccer in front of us this season, as this is just the home opener, fans. And man, oh man, if this is a sign of things to come for this year, for this season, it's going to be exciting. Bouncing around, Jackson. One touch, two touch. And the Knights were hoping there was going to be a third. But Olivia Jackson continues to keep hopes and dreams alive for the Dragons, searching for win number one. And Willis is there once again to play stopper defensively for the Knights. She'll have to play that role again as it's bouncing around. This time Grace plays stopper, I believe. Oh, what a tackle! Quality strike there. Caitlin Burdett, freshman defender. We'll have a chance to admire her work as she'll take a seat on the bench. Love to see the aggressive play there from the Dragons defensively, trying to keep this ball in towards the midfield, trying to keep it in towards their offensive zone. Offsides. Man, I wasn't even looking on that side of the field, so I can't comment to how close that was or not, but given the reaction from the men's soccer players who were kind enough to join us here at the Castle, I'm going to say that one was at best close. Great physical play there from number 11, Michaela Phillips from the Knights. Took on two Dragons players there. Came out on the wrong side of it, but effort gets you mighty far in life. The Knights trying to slow things down, playing with a comfortable 2-0 lead and also playing with under 10 minutes to play now. Oh, blizzard! Whew, that one was close. Great idea, put the Jets on. Realizing at the final last second that pass was just too far out in front. We saw the Knights with more than a few plays in the first half that we chalked up as right idea, wrong execution type plays. We've seen more of those type plays in the second half. And those types of plays can be frustrating when you're a team and they're starting to pile up and you're having these good quality chances and opportunities, but you're just not making the most of them. But at the end of the day, those are the opportunities that you need to continue to create because, you know, it's like, oh, my, oh, oh. Wow, is that a lot closer than anyone was expecting? What a quality strike there. As I was saying, those right idea, wrong execution type plays are the plays that you need to continue to create for your team because it's like the law of averages. It's like the three-point shot in the NBA. Yes, it's not falling right now, but these shots have to eventually fall. We are too good of a team for these opportunities not to eventually go our way, and I'm sure that's how the Knights feel as a team. Yes, in the first half, we had a lot of opportunities that just didn't go our way, but hey, we had a lot of opportunities. That's the key word in that sentence. We had a lot of opportunities, or that's the key phrase, I should say. We had chances. Now we need more chances, and eventually we'll make good on them. The Knights, eventually they made good on them. 12 shots on goal for them, 2 goals, 3 corner kicks. You'll live with those numbers. But the number that matters most to them is 1. And that's the number that is going to be in the W column when this game hits triple zeros. The Knights, 6 minutes and 44 seconds away from picking up their first victory of the season. They'll have a chance to pick up victory number 2 on Thursday, 4 o'clock, game 1 of a doubleheader. Live on YouTube. I'll be here for that. Hope you can join us. Hope you can join us live from the castle, but if you can't make it to the game, you definitely got to join us on YouTube. You can catch all the Knights home games all season long on YouTube. If you can't catch us in person or on YouTube, you can always catch scores, highlights, and post-game wrap-up on the CCBC Essex Instagram, Twitter pages, and also, of course, the website. Check them out. A lot of people in the athletic department working hard to bring you the information that you want. The 411, as my dad used to say. Action on the field picking up here. Dragons trying to play spoiler. A goal a minute would get them a win. But then again, that seems like miracle work at this point. 5 minutes and some change left. Dragons down 2. Still looking for their second shot on goal of the day. Oh! Nice trickery. Space. Through ball. Offsides by just a hair. And not much of an argument. I mean, she's attempting to put the argument up, but she certainly was offsides there. It's tough. It's really tough to stay even with the defender in that moment, especially when you know you've got that through ball coming. And it's just a matter of staying patient, understanding, yes, the through ball's coming, but I got to stay even with this defender until that through ball comes. And that to me is very similar to not swinging at the curveball 0-2. It's like, you know the guy's got a good curveball. You know he's not throwing it in the zone. Don't swing at it. That is really easy for me to say up here sitting on the couch eating Doritos. The NBA equivalent of that is like, why does Bradley Beal miss foul shots in the fourth quarter? Because it's hard and he's tired. Under 4 minutes to play now. Dragons understanding what's in front of them. They need a miracle. They need perfection. The Knights understanding what's moments away from them. The year's first W. And I'm sure they got to feel like this first win is almost like, and this sounds silly to say given this is only the third game of the season, but it's almost like a monumental monkey off the back. You know, this is a team that had national championship, or still has, national championship hopes. You start a season 0-2 coming into the year when you know that you've got a chance for greatness. Well, that's a tough start. And it can be easy for that to get away from them. But given what we've seen here today in the home opener, this looks like a Knights team and a Knights coaching staff that understands there is still a lot of soccer left to be played this season. Want to thank you for joining us. Want to thank you for joining us on this Tuesday night. home opener, season opener for the athletic department here at CCBC Essex, and it's been a successful one as women's soccer team 2 minutes away from picking up the first win of the year. The Knights men's team will have their home opener on Thursday in the nightcap of the doubleheader, and here's Willis like a missile once again. And Willis getting the yellow card. Pleading with the referee, look, ref, I only know how to go one speed, and that's fast. Willis like the rest of us when we were 8, but of course, a lot more impressive coming from her at 19, 20 years old. Well, you viewers at home with kids, young kids, you know, those 8-year-olds, they ain't running around the field all day. "60 seconds, all that separates these two teams from the final whistle. Only time will tell what the season holds for these two teams. The Dragons going to be falling to 0-5 on the year, but their team trending in the right direction. Their last 2 games, even though they're 0-5. A 2-0 loss here to the Knights that easily could have went another way. Remember, about midway through this second half, they had a one-on-one breakaway at the goal that easily could have tied the game up. If they tie the game up right then and there, who knows how this game goes. What could have been, though, what might be, what definitely is it is over here at the Castle. The Knights 1-2 on the season as they get the win in the home opener. 2-0 is the final score. And they will have a chance to get to 500 this upcoming Thursday, 4 o'clock, game 1 of a doubleheader. Women's action starting us off, and then it's the home opener for the men in the nightcap. That's then. This is now. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday evening, and I hope you can join us on Thursday afternoon for game 1 of the doubleheader. Aaron Thomas in the broadcast booth saying, the summer is finally over, and the action is back here at the Castle. The kids are back at school, and I think I'm the only one happy about that. Thanks for joining us, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.